Good afternoon, 4 o'clock now on your Wednesday. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jennifer Meckles.
And I'm Jeremy Hohola. Tom and Kim are off today. Right now, we're working to learn more about a fire that spread to 2 homes in Centennial. South Metro Fire says the fire is burning off of South Franklin Street, not far from University in Arapahoe. South Metro Fire says it started on a tree and then burned some landscaping before spreading to the 2 nearby homes. South Metro Fire says they're evaluating an injured person on scene too. Sky 9 is on the way right now, and once more information is available, we will bring you updates here in our 4 o'clock show. Well, it's also been a scorcher out today. A live look outside. We saw very sunny skies, and it's really hot out there, but I don't think we got quite to that 90-degree mark that we've been waiting for.
Those temps sent people in Denver chasing any kind of water today. Our photojournalist Tom Cole spotted folks at Confluence Park. Perfect day to splash around in the pool and the water to cool off. Not all water is the same, though. The Jefferson County Sheriff's Office and the Golden Police Department are now limiting water activities on Clear Creek. This order bans all single tubes and rafts, body swimming, and body surfing. Jeffco Sheriff's Office says water conditions are just too dangerous right now with those rushing water conditions. Let's bring in meteorologist Kathy Sabin now. We love the hot, but you gotta be careful on the water.
You do. Rapid snow melt, you guys, in the high country this past week with temperatures running way above average. And we have hit 90 downtown, but not out at the official observation site out at DIA. But we've got a lot of daylight left to go. Sunset doesn't go, well, the sun doesn't go down until about 8:32. So I still think we'll get to at least 90 before that happens. Evening drive is underway with blue skies and light winds. A beautiful afternoon out there. Yeah, a lot of allergy sufferers. Everything's just blooming and growing. A lot of people are sneezing and coughing. And in the high country, the snow is diminishing. And with that rapid snow melt comes concerns for high rivers, creeks, and streams. So please be careful if you're trying to cool off in that way. Early summer heat is on through Friday. We've got 90s to end the week. Storms are back just in time for the weekend, along with a cooler weather trend. We just hit 90 out at DIA. So we have, in fact, now hit 90, the first of the season. You're watching this live breaking weather news here. We just hit 90 at the airport and downtown, 91 in Lyman and also in Greeley. But look at Lamar, you guys, almost 100 degrees this hour. So early summer heat for sure. And then you factor in the wind, and we'll be talking about fire danger with the dry weather. And there is an air quality alert for high levels of ozone between 4 tonight and 4 tomorrow. And you can just see big dome of high pressure over the area, not allowing for much moisture in the form of even clouds. All of the showers that are impacting travel are east of us from Houston and Memphis up into the Chicago area. And on radar, not a lot to show you there either, but that will be changing. Severe weather threats south and east of the area. So now it is just all about the warm and the temperatures, which will run above average until after sunset tonight. I think we're going to go even warmer the next couple of days than the 90 we just saw this hour out at DIA. I'll have that forecast coming up.
All righty. We have continued coverage this afternoon of the storage unit fire we brought you as breaking news yesterday. Crews spent the day assessing damage at StoreQuest, which is off of I-70 in Wadsworth. The fire started around 6:15 yesterday morning. When crews arrived, the fire had spread through the attic of the facility. Flames, smoke, and water damaged up to 78 units. 2 firefighters also got hurt. Arvada Fire says they're home and doing okay right now. Investigators say it could be days until we find out how this fire started. StoreQuest told people impacted it might be another day or 2 until they can see their units and see how much stuff they lost. A gas exposure at an eastern Colorado sugar plant put 4 employees in the hospital last week, killing one of them. Western Sugar Cooperative says the exposure happened while workers were performing routine maintenance.
Both the coroner's office and the man's family have identified him as 27-year-old Tristan Tedder. 9 News reporter Janelle Finch sat down with his family, who remembers him as a loving son and husband.
Words are hard to find when a mother
hanging in there
loses a son.
Just, you don't have a choice but to get through.
The future is uncertain when a wife faces raising her kids without her soulmate.
Feels like you could wake up,
None of it feels right, but it's real for Monty Page and Stacy Hodson.
Yeah, I still think something happens and, I should call Tristan. And he's on my phone and I think, I can't text him anymore.
Tristan died after being exposed to hydrogen sulfide gas while working at the Western Sugar Co-op in Fort Morgan. Stacy says Monty called her and knew the worst had happened.
And when she told me he was dead, I just was like, no, it can't be real. Like, it can't happen. It's not supposed to happen to a mother. You know, they're supposed to outlast you.
They say Tristan was a man who had all the words, and yet none are enough to describe him.
He was my everything.
But one comes close.
Dad.
Dad, to Moss, who's 1.5, and Thatcher, who's 3.
He knows his dad is in the stars. And he talks to him, and we make time to sit with him and, like, tell him about our day and tell him that we love him. And
Stacy and Monty say, knowing Tristan, they've known great love.
I really struggle to explain it because he's just the best person I've ever known.
And while there are countless stories and memories they can share with the two boys,
Everybody loved Tristan. Like, he really didn't. If you didn't like Tristan, there's probably something wrong with you.
nothing compares to having Tristan tell the stories and here to keep making memories.
They should have known him in person. No babies should have to go through this.
That was Janelle Finch reporting. Family members say Tristan loved history, and they're now hosting his celebration of life at a museum in Sterling. An update today, the Perfect Landing restaurant at Centennial's airport is now closed until further notice. South Metro Fire says a kitchen fire there caused significant damage inside. Crews tell us it started with a leaking natural gas line. Firefighters had to shut off the gas supply to the building, and the restaurant is now closed until further notice.
Today, Democratic Governor Jared Polis signed a new bill that is supposed to protect consumers in Colorado when it comes to ticket sales of concerts, sports, and other events. The bill requires ticket sellers and resellers to guarantee refunds. It also prohibits venues from not letting people access an event if they bought the tickets through a reseller. Supporters call this law the gold standard for consumer protection. The bill also bans deceptive sales addressing hidden fees that can cause the ticket price to rise after the buyer has selected it. Instead, those fees will be shown upfront with that ticket price. Today, Democrats are forcing their Republican colleagues on hand where they stand on reproductive rights. The Senate is voting on a measure to protect access to birth control nationwide.
Today's vote is mostly symbolic, but it comes in a heated election year. NBC's Bree Jackson has more.
Reproductive freedoms are front and center as Democrats push to put Republicans on the spot about where they stand on access to contraceptives.
Americans' uncertainty about using birth control is one of the many shameful consequences of overturning Roe v. Wade. This is the mess Donald Trump, the MAGA Supreme Court, and the Republican-led Senate has created.
Democrats say they're focusing on a larger effort to protect reproductive rights nationwide. Many Republicans argue this latest bill aimed at contraceptives is less about passing legislation and more about sending a political message.
Democrats think they can win this case, this election based on reproductive rights, and somehow they're suggesting that contraception is in jeopardy, which is just blatantly false.
Since the overturning of Roe v. Wade, some Republican-led states have passed bills that limit access to abortions, and there are concerns about protecting IVF treatments, all of which are further dividing voters. While a recent NBC News poll found inflation and immigration are top of mind, Democrats are working to raise the stakes on issues like abortion.
Here we have reproductive justice, which we know that will mobilize voters.
The other part of this is you can wrap the abortion issue and reproductive freedom into a broader issue of preserving democracy and your own freedoms, whatever those freedoms happen to be.
The political debate comes as the country awaits a major Supreme Court ruling on whether to limit access to the widely used abortion medication, mifepristone. In Washington, Bree Jackson, NBC News.
And a bit of an update to that breaking news we told you about on the top of our 4 o'clock news here. Sky 9 is now over the scene of a house fire. Right now we're working to learn more about that fire that spread to 2 homes in Centennial. Again, Sky 9 giving us a look at the home off Franklin, not far from University in Arapahoe. South Metro Fire tells us that the fire started on a tree and then burned some landscaping before spreading to the 2 nearby homes here. South Metro says they're evaluating one person who has been hurt on scene, and once more information becomes available, we will bring you updates. It is the launch a lot of people have been waiting for. It finally happened today. Boeing getting their first Starliner crewed mission off the ground.
The capsule launched aboard an Atlas V rocket made by Colorado-based United Launch Alliance. Today's flight is a major milestone for this project. It's been plagued by delays. Boeing developed the Starliner in partnership with NASA to ferry astronauts to and from the International Space Station. This capsule is expected to dock with the ISS tomorrow, and 2 NASA astronauts on board the Starliner will spend about a week on the ISS before they make their return journey back to Earth. And we talk about the plague of delays. Third attempt, they've tried to do this since May. And it's struggle, right?
And it's
struggle,
cost
struggle,
them
struggle.
money with the delays. I was reading they lost like $1.5 billion with these delays. A lot of money.
You can't screw up something that big,
No.
so I get it, but it's been interesting. So, a couple years ago, NASA basically hired Boeing and SpaceX to do this, like compete with each other, getting these guys to space to like ferry the astronauts. SpaceX has had a bunch of these.
Yeah, and they've been doing it since
Boeing's just
2020.
kind of been dragging,
A little 4 years behind the competitor.
Yeah, interesting. Well, hey, they got it there today.
Got to
That's
hit
great.
liftoff. Well, they finally got it, so